All right, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx here at Going Full Nerd. Oh, all you super nerdy people, what's happening? Oh, I got to vibe out for just a minute. I got to vibe out because that's, so we're going to get into a little bit of talk today. But as you can see, the topic for today is episode 1 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. But we're also going to talk about a few cool things. But let me go ahead and get rid of the funky intro music. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx. Oh my God. Can I get the screen up so you can see me? Oh, there we go. Can we get the funky intro music is done. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday, 6 p.m. You know how we roll. What's up to everybody? But before we even get started talking about today's topic and getting into some of the things that's been happening to your favorite nerd here at Going Full Nerd, 100% nerd. Oh, we got to do the shameless plug. And I think I've been talking about this for like 6 months now that I'm going to change the shameless plug. And I got to figure out what to change the shameless plug to, since I really don't push the podcast on Apple, iHeart, Anchor, and all that anymore, because I'll be honest with you, Anchor stopped paying me. It is what it is. Anchor don't want to be 100% nerd. It is what it is. If you're a member, you're 100% nerd. If you're a sponsor, meaning Anchor FM, and all them, and they paying me for the playing the stuff, it's that they're 100% nerd. Everybody else maybe about 50, 60, maybe even 40% nerd. But anyway, shameless plug time. What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, GoingFullNerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. Okay, so, like I say, I got to change the shameless plug because the shameless plug is blatantly lying about the podcast home. It is what it is. And no, we are not going to get into the box office top 5. Now, there's a reason I'm not going to do the box office top 5. I mean, I thought we was coming back to the movies, then I caught COVID, and then I didn't go to the movies. I went to the movie theater for the first time today, and I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to do an extra special review of the movie that I saw today with my grandson. So me and him got to get together. I'm not going to bring him on live or anything like that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to record what we thought about the movie we saw today. And we're going to just let y'all decide if you're going to go see it at a future date. But just hold on to that because, today's topic is She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Notice how I'm saying this, episode 1. But before, yes, Omar, that's what we saw. That's what we went and saw. Okay, so let's do this. Before we get into talking about She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, I am going to say I am going to need a lawyer soon, okay? Because the reason being is I've been talking about it, and we all know the technical difficulties I always have when I'm working on Going Full Nerd. When I go live with you guys, sometimes the computer gets funny, it runs slow, the camera starts getting wonky, maybe the audio will get wonky. And honestly, there's reasons behind it because my computer is old. It's old. And that's just plain and simple. So when you have an old computer, what do? You save up money and you buy a new computer, right? Right. So I saved up basically for the past 2 years. I've been putting a little dollar here, a dollar there, basically saving my lunch money because, it is what it is. I even cut back on the adult beverages, even though it doesn't seem like it. Whoa. But here goes the deal. So I saved up all this money and I went to Hewlett Packard, HP, and they got this cool looking machine, the HP Omen 45L with the cryo chamber. And I said, you know what? I'm going to order this computer. This was back in July 21st to be exact. My wife was like, yo, you need to order your computer. You saved enough. Order the computer. I'm like, just a little more, because I want to max it out the best I can. I want to get all the good stuff so that when I do GoingFullNerd, it comes through crystal clear. And my wife was like, okay. So finally, on the 21st of July, I pulled the trigger. And this computer, slamming. i9 processor, 64 gig of RAM. I started buying things like I bought me a 10 terabyte hard drive to put in it to save the video files. I said, okay, I got me a brand new 4K capture card. And I was like, yes. I'm like, I'm getting ready to just get crazy on this. And it had a estimated ship date of August 18th. So like a week before August 18th, I started buying extra stuff that I was going to put in my machine. I'm like, okay, look, like I'm going to show you guys. So I bought me a brand new keyboard. I don't have that down here. I got that up in my closet. But I bought a brand new Corsair keyboard. let me show you. I got new HDMI cables so the monitors can show all the 4K resolution. I'm going to start streaming video games. I went and got me a new capture card. I'm like, yeah, getting all of that. Got me a new mouse with the weights on it so that I'm not clicking the wrong stuff. I'm like, I'm getting all of this good stuff. And then, the piece de resistance, I went, because we're doing video for you guys. We're doing video. I got to do more video. I bought a 10 terabyte. This alone, 10 terabyte hard drive. And I said, I'm ready for this. August 18th. And I said, okay, this stuff is going to go August 18th. I get an email on August 19th, saying, yo, we ain't shipping your computer. You're going to have to wait a whole nother month. I was like, yo, you've got to be crazy. I'm like, no. So I'm fighting back and forth with HP to get this new machine in. Okay. And once I get, so I could do better quality material, better quality video, all that good stuff. But it's cool. I'm fighting them. I got a case number in. So what does that have to do with the She-Hulk? Because I'm going to need an attorney one way or the other eventually. And here goes my line. And the line is, if they don't get my stuff shipped out, I may have to get a lawyer to say this is a breach of contract and they could have notified me sooner. Or I'm about to go to jail because then I'm going to have to whip out the sword of Ed, the sword of Onyx, thunder Onyx. Oh, and I'm going to have to act a whole fool. And thanks to my brother for sending me, he knows I like swords, appreciate him. He sent me a little sword, something that I could probably end up cutting my finger on, but I'm going to use this eventually when my computer comes to open the box and graciously put together my computer. If not, I'm going to show up at HP office and acting a pure fool, tapping on the door, tap, tap, tap. But I may need She-Hulk attorney at law to defend me if I have to go that route. But let's talk about She-Hulk attorney at law. Now, I've been on Twitter. I know. Stay your ass off Twitter, Onyx. Get off Twitter. Twitter is like the cesspool, the swamp of humanity. Well, where else do you think I'm going to hang out? That's where all the good, juicy stuff is at, on Twitter, right? It's going to be on Twitter. Oh, hold on, fellas. I see something. I see somebody that I'm going to have to, I don't know who got this spam account popping in. We're going to go ahead and report it. We're going to unwanted content or spam inside the chat. Okay. We're going to go okay. And then, I don't know who this is, but guess what's going to happen to them? Remove the comment. And then last but not least, we're going to remove. We got to remove. We got to put this user in timeout. What's the timeout? We're going to put them in timeout. They're gone. They gone. I gotta block people, man. You know, we don't want spam in our Going Full Nerd chat. What is this? Hide user on this channel. Yeah, messages will be hidden. I don't know what the heck is going on there. Yeah, and you know, I could have called you before I ordered. Ron, I could have. But you know, I just got to make sure. Okay, there we go. And we'll get that blocked. You know, I ain't even going to mention what that was up in the chat. Go figure. But back to She-Hulk attorney at law. So I'm on Twitter. I'm going back and forth. And I'm looking at all of the stuff. And She-Hulk attorney at law got review bombed before the show even came out. And I'm still trying to figure out why so many people got their draws in a bunch and are upset over She-Hulk. And so I got up, I turned on, I watched it, and I watched it with my grandson too. I watched it twice to make sure that I was seeing the show and absorbing it. But it is a typical origin story. Now, I, like a lot of people, I enjoy, honestly, I'm going to be totally honest, I enjoy a good superhero fight. I enjoy an elaborate thing where superheroes save the world. I mean, let's be all honest. I love big superhero teams. I love the concept of it. Reading comic books gives you that. But you also got to know what you're getting into when you watch a particular show. And I think the problems that a lot of people have is that they expect the wrong thing from each different outing that's been coming on, you know, with these superhero films. You know, and I'm going to say there's three types of, and I'm going to sit here and say there's three types of superhero directors. And I've been I'm three or four. I'm going to talk about different things, but you got to look at, you've got your, what's the line? What's the best way for me to say it? One of the things that you want to see, this is the problem. This is the problem. So we got people who are stuck on, it's always got to be the Caucasian male to save the world. Okay. Can't be the female. Definitely can't be the person of color. And, you know, because we can't have anything different. Now, I'll be honest. I'm one of the ones, and I've always said it. I say we don't need to change the ethnicity or gender of a pre-existing character to make it popular, because we have so many characters that are of those different ethnicities, of those genders, to make damn good shows. But the problem is those characters have always been regulated and placed back on the sidelines as second-tier characters. So as things are going on, now what we have is when they start giving these secondary characters their just due, their day to shine in the spotlight, people want to push them back to being a secondary character. Okay? And that's not the purpose of giving these characters a show. So, shows that people didn't like. People had their draws in a bunch with WandaVision. People definitely had their draws in a bunch with what's that? Ms. Marvel. People had their draws in a bunch with the movie Captain Marvel. People had their draws in a bunch with what is it? Eternals. A lot of female, primary characters in that. People had an issue with Jessica Jones when it was the Netflix show, even though that was an excellent, excellent show. It was a little too deep for a lot of people. And actually, people have their draws in a bunch with Moon Knight, even though people started ending up liking it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say I had my draws in a bunch with Iron Fist. I just didn't like Iron Fist. Iron Fist was bad. I'm not going to say I had my draws in a bunch with Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Love and Thunder, as I said in the review, had a little bit too many jokes. And they doubled down on humor too much. So let's move forward. Let's take a look at She-Hulk. Now, She-Hulk, I'm going to be honest, I was made fully aware by the press and everything in that She-Hulk was going to be a comedy. Now, here's the deal. It is a comedy in the line of something much like The Office, something where, so almost like Modern Family, because you got the fourth wall breaking. And now we've added superheroes into the mix. And I'm not even going to call it superheroes because she made it her point within the show to say, I'm not a superhero, I'm a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer and I'm going to be a lawyer. And so it's cool. Now, they did some changes. They did some things different from the comic book. Now, let's take a look at the comic book. The comic book, she was a well-established lawyer. She was taking high-profile cases. And what happened was, isn't that how all good stories start? When somebody says, well, what happened was, and in the original comic book, what had happened was the mob put a hit on her and she needed an emergency blood transfusion from her cousin, Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, which turned her into what was known back then as the Savage She-Hulk. When she got her adrenaline pumped, she was upset. She changed into the She-Hulk and all that good stuff. So that was cool. That was the original comic book made in the 80s. 80s, folks. The 1980s. So now, what they got to do, they got to update this damn origin story. And I'm going to give Marvel a hell of a lot of credit because they updated the origin story. And even though they treat that standalone Hulk movie with Ed Norton, who they replaced with our good friend, Mark Ruffalo, okay, which was pretty a good move on their part because they say Ed Norton was real difficult to work with. I'm not surprised at that. But the key ends up being is this. They did a great change to the origin story, and I can't wait to see what they do moving forward because how they got this origin can mean a good thing. No, it could be a good thing because how did she get the She-Hulk powers in this? Well, first thing is they had to call back to the original Hulk movie, and here you go. All right, here you go. They had to call back to the original Hulk movie. Why? Because when that Sicarian ship showed up, that was the callback to Thor Ragnarok when Hulk spent, as he said in the show, 2 years. I was the other guy. 2 years. 2 years, that's the Hulk. Damn. But And a couple of friends brought this up to me. That is going to lead to something interesting. Why? Because there have been talks with Universal Studios about relinquishing the rights or doing a deal, much like Sony, where we can get a standalone Hulk film. And oh my gosh, it might be World War Hulk, but with a twist. And the reason why I say this is because now we have this car crash because they were startled by the ship. And the callback to the Hulk movie, I just said it 3 times, was he said, "Get away from me. We don't want my blood getting on you because I have open cuts and you have open cuts." Well, that's, that sounds real, almost like a STD, folks. I don't want to be dealing with that. But here goes the deal. That is a callback to the Hulk movie from 2008 because if you remember, that's where the late, great Stan Lee got a little bit of Hulk's blood in his soda. He drank it, got deathly sick, and was almost killed, right? Right. Then you also saw the leader who got blood on him and his head started bubbling and, right? So this blood gets on the Jen. Jen then transforms. They explain it in the episode and say they both have certain genetic markers that allow them to process lethal doses of gamma radiation. So that's why she became the She-Hulk. And in true comic book fashion, she processed it a lot better and had more control over her Hulk persona. Great. That was similar to the comic book. Very much similar. And much like the comic book, she has control. And much like the comic book, yes, folks, Deadpool was not the first person to break the fourth wall. It was She-Hulk in the 1980s, and booyah, to steal a quote from Cyborg of the Teen Titans, she broke the fourth wall in this. And this is something that they're going to go and they're going to do. There's a lot of stuff inside of this show with obscure characters that I'm getting from the trailers, getting from the previews, and getting from press releases. Also thinking we're going to get some more serious superhero stuff by way of Easter eggs in this show, like the Sicarian ship, the fact that Smart Hulk was losing it a little. If you guys go back and watch it, he was getting pissed. He was getting real pissed. He was getting ticked off at her. Or as he says, am I getting a little jealous? Oh, maybe. Jealous is a green monster, isn't it? Yeah, we're getting there. But here goes the thing. The first episode isn't bad. No, see, low cuts. No. Honestly, this is following the comic books. It's following the comic books very, very well. Now, I'm going to get to the kick, Omar. I'm going to get to the kick. Now, here's the moment. This is the thing. This is why I got to tell people, be patient with the long haul. She-Hulk is not bad. I am going to tell you, this show is not bad at this point. They can go bad, but it is not bad at this point. The reason why I say it's not bad at this point, you got to remember, She-Hulk is a vintage, elder Marvel character. She was a member of the Fantastic Four. She was a member of the Avengers. She's standalone comic book runs that were highly successful. Come on, she's in the Avengers now in the comic book. So the key is, what are we going to do? How are we going to get back to the rampaging Hulk that a lot of people want and keep this and move forward to the long slate of movies, long slate of stuff that was pushed forward? This show is the groundwork for that. And what you also got to look at, Disney is not going soft. Disney is actually hardening people up because when you bring Deadpool into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's got to be some killing. There's got to be some cussing. There's got to be some Tom frickin' foolery going on. And how do you do it? You slowly bring it in. That's how everything is done a lot with these movies. That's how a lot of things are done with the storytelling. You got to give people, you got to spoon feed them, folks. You got to spoon feed them. That's the thing. We've become very impatient. We want it all, and we want it all right now. Oh, damn. I can't be slamming. Can't be dropping the kunai knife on it. Can't be doing that. But listen, okay? So here goes the key. What are we going to see in future episodes of She-Hulk? I think we're going to get some more of what Ed likes to call, what Onyx likes to call, world building. Let me say it once again for the people in the back. We're going to get back to doing some what? We're going to do some world building, okay? World building. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. World building. All right? That's all it is. We're going to do this world building. And this world building is going to introduce a whole lot of other superheroes. Okay? It's going to introduce a whole lot of other characters. Why do you think they need to introduce a lawyer? Why? Okay? Some people say, well, we introduced Daredevil. Daredevil was dark. Well, Daredevil was written on Netflix. And yes, he's going to make an appearance in She-Hulk. And what's going to happen is this is actually going to be an early Daredevil. Remember, the multiverse has been opened. So this is not the Netflix Daredevil, but he's going to be relatively freaking close because they're going to show Daredevil in his yellow and red outfit. Okay? And he's a lawyer, and he's going to deal with this, and it's going to be cool. We're getting the origin story of Kingpin inside of Echo, the miniseries that's getting ready to come out. And you know Echo's going to be dark because it's dealing with the Kingpin and his mafia. And then you're going to bring back the Sokovia Accords. And then you're going to have the Thunderbolts coming out, which you know, Justice Like Lightning, evil stuff. Boom, you're going to get Wakanda jacked up by Namor this winter. Come on. We are, yes, say it for the people in the back, Stephanie. We're going to have bloodshed Disney. We're going to get dark Disney. Now, is it going to be as dark as Zack Snyderverse? No, it is not. It is not. And yes, 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 the Punisher is coming. The Punisher is coming. And there's no way you're going to have the Punisher without a little bloodshed. Little bloodshed. Just a little bit. Not a lot. A little bit. You know, with the amount of bullets the Punisher puts down range, the amount of bullets that Daredevil puts down range, come on, man. You know, if they were really trying to be real, as a lot of people like to call it, Disney-fied, they'd be like the old school G.I. Joe cartoons, which was what? Oh, we're going to shoot red and blue lasers and never show anybody get killed, right? Nah, it ain't going to work like that. They're not going to completely go off the chains, off the rails. And here goes the other part. This is the key point. This is the thing you've got to understand and learn is by these Disney Plus shows releasing, okay, they're saving big stories, big characters for the movies. For the movies. So I don't know what people expect from a 6-episode, 7-episode, 8-episode, and She-Hulk will have 9 episodes miniseries. These things don't even know if they're going to get continued to season 2s. But Mickey is, yes, putting the middle finger to Warner Brothers, and that is what it is. Now, honestly, if you want R-rated superhero, watch Amazon, watch The Boys. You can't go wrong. If you want R-rated animated superheroes, watch Amazon, watch Invincible. Okay? If you want to get slowly brought into it, because Disney has to do that. Otherwise, all these mom groups are going to pop up in it. Oh, we're going to boycott. They too violent. Ah, Disney's not for kids no more. Ha, 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 ha. You know, that's how they're going to be. So you got to slowly feed them. Okay? You know, we already getting outraged because of the plethora. Ooh, I used a big word today. Write that down, folks, for the people in the back. Plethora. I used a plethora Disney used a plethora, excuse me. I said I. Well, I am a Disney stockholder, so yes, I did it. So Disney, you put a plethora of female characters to the forefront. I mean, we got Shuri, we getting Ironheart, Captain Marvel, uh, Spectrum, or Monica Rambeau, whatever you want to call her, Black Widow, Gamora, Nebula, Mantis, um, Wasp. You getting who else? We getting also Okoye. We got all these female characters. All right, Lady Loki, um, Scarlet Witch. And, when the X-Men show up, hell, we got Storm, Jean Grey, Jubilee, Shadowcat. We got all these female characters showing up. Magic. Well, I mean, come on. Come on. So what happens is this. Just let it happen, folks. And Ms. Marvel, yes. Just let it happen, folks. Just let it happen, because the male characters are going to come back and take a forefront. I'm sorry that everybody's upset that Robert Downey Jr. and he's not playing Iron Man no more. Sorry that Chris Evans is not playing Captain America no more. Oh my gosh, God forbid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that my man's not playing Wolverine anymore. Okay? All right? I'm sorry Patrick Stewart's too old to be Professor X and anything else anymore. Oh, wow. They're using exactly to fully geeking out. Your comment, they're using Disney Plus as a testing ground for Marvel's new characters' ideas. If it does well, they go to the movies. If they don't, they do shelve it and it's gone. You see what I'm saying? They'll find a way to write off. Iron Fist is the key. Iron Fist did poorly on Netflix. They will not be bringing it back. They're bringing back the characters of Luke Cage, Punisher, and Jessica Jones. Do you see what I'm talking about? All right. They may bring Laura, Hawkeye's wife, up. She is Mockingbird in this Marvel universe. They're talking about, the rumors are talking about, they're going to have an alternate version of Quake from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show up when the mutants show up. Now, we're not going to CGI Patrick Stewart. We've had reports that Giancarlo Esposito, for my people that like School Days, the guy that played Big Brother Almighty, or the famous Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian, or maybe my man from Breaking Bad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He might be a good Professor X, but I don't think he's going to be Professor X. I think because they announced the Fantastic Four movie, and his personality type and the way he could take his foot and put it into a role and make it all so great, I think he might be the next Dr. Doom. Quote me on this. Quote me on this. And if you're talking about X-23, yeah, she could show up, because they're pushing this Young Avengers type thing. Maybe they can have the X-Men. The X-Men are going to be young, because there's a lot of questions that they got to finish answering. And the She-Hulk show is going to answer some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. Like, where are these superhumans all popping up from now? Okay? Is it the fallout from Eternals with that big celestial dead celestial sitting in the middle of the ocean, awaken some stuff? Maybe. Maybe that'll get touched upon in She-Hulk, which, hey, Marvel has been known to put things out in a particular order. In an order. Okay? So if they put it out in this order, what makes you think they're not going to leave a little Easter egg for something that's coming out in the movies soon, like Wakanda Forever? Maybe it's something that'll, pop off or that. They've been putting end credit scenes and stuff. Hey, what do we know about Captain America did his thing? It is what it is. It is what it is. And Esposito as Victor Von Doom would be a good thing. I think it'd be a great thing. Oh man, can you imagine? Have somebody with the intelligence? Oh yeah. And then if you think about it, Kang is black. So I wouldn't be surprised also if the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Reed Richards is black. Because why? We all know between Von Doom Richards and Kang, somebody related to Kang. The comic books say it's Reed Richards. A lot of times back in the comic books, they hinted it was Doom. We don't know. We don't know what Reed Richards' daddy was doing while he was traveling the time stream out there, going through time, getting the thing. We don't know if Tony Stark was truly the only person to figure out time travel. Maybe it could have been one of the Reed Richards. Maybe they refined it. So that time platform they used in Endgame is way better. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe Tony's daughter grows up, marries a black dude, and they could change the whole thing. We don't know. We don't know. And yes, Eddie, they also put it in order to cater and guide the audience of all ages, from the old school fans like myself to the new people who are just picking it up and going back and reading comic books and that are confused as hell and make crappy ass comments on Twitter. All right. No, the Reed Richards in the Michael B. Jordan Fantastic or For Fantastic, whatever you want to call it, that crappy one, where the only thing that was really good in it was the CGI thing to me. That one, Reed Richards was not, but Professor Johnny Storm's dad was, and Susan Storm was adopted. That was crazy. Anyway, go figure. All right, guys. Hey, I'm at my 30-minute limit. I'm about to go. So what did I think about She-Hulk episode 1? Pretty much, the jury's still out. We're going to go ahead, get the jury of 12 together, and we're going to figure it out. On a scale of 1 to 5, I still leave this one as a 3. You could take it or leave it. You can watch it. So far, I enjoyed it. I really want to see what they mean by comedy and to address. I'm not going to ignore my man Omar on this one. That kick that Tatiana broke into the courtroom with was straight out of Saturday morning Kung Fu theater. That's why I got to give it up the middle of the road. That is part of the reason why I got to sit here and say this is going to be a take it or leave it show. But, your boy's going to take it because I always take one for the team. Oh, yes. Because, hey, last but not least, we're going to do one of these, not the live show, but we're going to talk. I'm going to put some tidbits about each of the She-Hulk episodes as we go. And if there's really something big, but we had to get this first one out the way. Hopefully I could get to see Bullet Train over the next few days. We could get to that and we could finally review Bullet Train. I see what you're talking about. I may end up looking at Prey, but you will get a review from me and my grandson on Dragon Ball Z Superheroes. We went and saw that together today, and I can't wait to talk about it. We're going to record that, talk to you guys. But like I said, yeah, you know what? It did remind me of Street Fighter, that kick she did. You remember how Raul Julia came across and they carried, it was like, can you hide the wires? But I think that was more so to highlight the comic bookness of the She-Hulk thing, but they could have did a little bit better. That the wire food could have been a little better. I mean, everybody complained about the CGI. It is what it is. But anyway, everybody, thank you all for showing up. And as I can say, and this is my line, if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all. Please send it to me on Twitter so I can say it for you. Now, I know there's more than 4 of y'all in here, so please, I'm going to sound like James Brown. Please hit the video with a little like All right. Hey, peace, y'all, and I'm out of here. Funky outro music? Yes, check. And cool-ass outro scene? Yes. All right. Hey, appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the suggestion, guys. Yes, I do think I need to check out Prey and see what they're complaining about. I get it. I don't get it. Why can't we all just enjoy what we're getting now with the level of special effects. I mean, hey, they canceled Batgirl. Oh, well. But we got Black Adam coming out. We got Wakanda Forever coming out. We got Prey already on streaming services. Bullet Train is out there. I got to go see that. We're getting ready we are in the superhero age. Come on. Enjoy. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining up. And if you're still here and you've been watching this, not live, but recorded, there's a subscribe button right over here. It'll show up like tomorrow if if you're watching this live. It'll show up tomorrow. Click it. Get your friends to click it. Get your mama to click it. Get your mama's uncle's brother's cousin to click it. I need more subscribers. And for those of you who are not members, hey, we're going to get some for these members. And that's to show you. Peace, y'all. I'm gone. Oh, man. I got to fade the black. How do I fade the black on here? Oh, I got to fade the black. I'm gone.